Yes, I'm squeezing in one more stream because I'm still in traffic, and it's gonna be, well, once 5 o'clock hit, everything just went to LA level. I don't mind, you know, I still got time, so I might as well jump into my next stream. This is the other thing I want to talk about. Oh, by the way, I remember, the dailywire.com. Oh, my camera's upside down. Let's flip it really quick, see what happens. Aha! We did it. Okay, now I'm right side up. Hopefully I'm not upside down on your screen. Dailywire.com is Ben Shapiro's one, and if you look there, you'll find the article about the school that forced students to walk out in protest. Here's the other thing I want to talk about all over the news today, because of course the timing is impeccable in today's conversation. Is a teacher accidentally discharged his gun in his classroom. This was in a seaside school, and yes, it is seaside. It is a city right next to Monterey. This is something a little confusing about Seaside. Seaside has California State University Monterey Bay in it. So it's representative of Monterey Bay, not the city of Monterey. Yet it's next to the city of Monterey. Also, fun fact about Seaside, it has minefields in it. Fort Ord used to be what CSU Monterey is now, and they surrounded their base with fenced-off areas of minefields in case the Japanese landed on the Monterey Bay coastline. So that's what I find fascinating. Yes, every now and then a deer loses its limb from stepping on a mine. And yes, there have been students who go to that school who have been stupid enough to hop the fence, and thank goodness no mines were stepped on by any students. Why haven't they been disposed of? That's an entirely separate conversation, but I just think that's a great example of government inefficiency. And the sun's coming out. It's beautiful. But my background is all white now, so hopefully the sun changes well, the sun's not going to change direction. Hopefully I change direction so my shot will become better looking. Yes, 3 minutes in, I haven't even started talking about what I'm going to talk about. So a teacher discharged a gun in the classroom. How does this happen? I have no idea. But, especially because that's a gun-free zone, so he's not even supposed to have his gun on campus. How can a person get a gun on a campus? How can a person get a gun in a gun-free zone? So, obviously, the teacher's an idiot. It's one thing to have a gun on you. It's another thing to have a round chambered. Even if it's a revolver, if you want to conceal a revolver in your first whatever hole in your you don't put a round in that first one, so when you cock the hammer, it'll be loaded on the next one, so you don't blow off your butt or your balls if you're concealing on the front waistband. So this is actually what happened. Somehow it shot into the ceiling and ricocheted off the ceiling into one of the students. Student's not dead; it's just injured. But this raises so many questions. But the other thing it does, it plays right into the timing of everything. The day before the National Walkout Day about guns, and while Donald Trump is doing his normal thing where he's ranting and raving on Twitter about major issues as the President of the United States, and people are taking every word he takes seriously, and people who are obviously against the idea of guns don't want guns in classrooms. So it plays right into that whole conversation, and this is a perfect example of why teachers shouldn't have guns. This person with a gun apparently had a concealed carry permit and was trained to use guns safely. It's a reminder, a very important reminder to everyone. Guns are not safe things, and that's where I agree with a lot of people, where no, not every teacher should have a gun. That's a terrible idea. And there's a long process in which you learn a gun, and you should shoot hundreds of rounds or thousands of rounds before you're really careful or really understand guns. But at the same time, I think I understand what Donald Trump is alluding to. Obviously, with everything Donald Trump says, you have to look at it as hyperbolic or as some sort of nuance, because people are taking what Donald Trump's tweet of, teachers use guns in the classroom as like, oh no, Donald Trump wants to give every teacher a gun. No, come on, that's obviously not the case. But there is something to be said about gun-free zones, because where have most mass shootings been in these, well, just the entire history of mass shootings in this country? Well, actually on the streets, but the ones where dozens of people are shot all happen in gun-free zones. Aurora was in a movie theater, and the recent one was in a high school, and they often are attracted to areas where they know, well, the people who are shooters are attracted to areas where they know they can't get shot by someone who concealed carries. A great example of how guns work to protect people, there is a city in, I think it's Ohio, that just required every citizen who lives in that city to own a gun, and crime in that city has, in terms of violent crime and home invasion, has almost completely been eliminated. Guns are a fantastic deterrent to crime. So I think what could work excellently is having concealed carriers volunteer, well, at least approved by some sort of entity involved with the school, to be on campus and have signs up on campus warning to those in something and that sort of verbiage. There are concealed carry permit professionals or some sort of language on campus here to protect our students. So don't even think about bringing any sort of violent intentions towards our students. And instead of having them in every classroom, just have them on campus, ready to go, hidden somewhere or something. People will say, well, okay, well, what about this sheriff who was a coward and stayed outside during the shooting? Yes, there will always be that. It's the point isn't to always have a gun on campus. The point is to incept the idea that there will be a gun somewhere on campus, therefore it's a bad idea to try and shoot someone. Anyways, that's my pitch. I hope you guys are receptive to the idea. Maybe start talking about it. And gosh, this traffic is so bad. I am very frustrated. Been driving for 45 minutes and I'm halfway to where I need to be. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. If you haven't yet, spot me a subscription. I do at least a couple of live streams a week, and you don't have to watch me live. You can watch the videos after they've been posted. And if you like this video, spot me a like. If you dislike this video, spot me a dislike. And if you dislike it a lot, make sure to dislike it twice. And I'll catch you guys later.